Willkommen bei Exam Heist, Ihr Partner für Zertifizierungserfolg. Wir bieten umfassende Lernmaterialien, online und offline, und begleiten Sie Schritt für Schritt. Von PDF-Leitfäden bis zu praxisnahen Übungssätzen. Alle wichtigen Fragen für Ihre Zertifizierung sind abgedeckt. Sie haben jederzeit die richtigen Ressourcen griffbereit. Laden Sie PDFs herunter. Machen Sie Tests und nutzen Sie unser Expertenteam. Mit interaktiver Online-Praxis können Sie sich überall und jederzeit prüfen. Unsere PDFs sind prüfungsbereit, sorgfältig zusammengestellt und bleiben stets aktuell. Tausende Lernende haben sich bereits erfolgreich zertifizieren lassen und vertrauen auf unsere Qualität. Zertifizierte Fachkräfte stehen bereit, um Ihre Fragen zu beantworten. Starten Sie heute und geben Sie Ihrer Vorbereitung den entscheidenden Vorteil mit Exam Heist. Besuchen Sie examheist.com. Exam Heist. Ihr Weg zum Erfolg beginnt hier.
Question 1. What is a result of enabling Cisco FTD clustering? Option A. For the dynamic routing feature. If the master unit fails, the newly elected master unit maintains all existing connections. Option B. Integrated routing and bridging is supported on the master unit. Option C. Site-to-site VPN functionality is limited to the master unit, and all VPN connections are dropped if the master unit fails. Option D. All firepower appliances support Cisco FTD clustering. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Site-to-site VPN functionality is limited to the master unit, and all VPN connections are dropped if the master unit fails. Question 2. Which two conditions are necessary for high availability to function between two Cisco FTD devices? Choose 2. Option A. The units must be the same version. Option B. Both devices can be part of a different group that must be in the same domain when configured within a FMC. Option C. The units must be different models if they are part of the same series. Option D. The units must be configured only for firewall routed mode. Option E. The units must be the same model. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. The units must be the same version. Option E. The units must be the same model. Question 3. On the Advanced tab under Inline Set Properties, which allows interfaces to emulate a passive interface? Option A. Transparent inline mode. Option B. Tap mode. Option C. Strict TCP enforcement. Option D. Propagate link state. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Tap mode. Question 4. What are the minimum requirements to deploy a managed device inline? Option A. Inline interfaces, security zones, MTU, and mode. Option B. Passive interface, MTU, and mode. Option C. Inline interfaces, MTU, and mode. Option D. Passive interface, security zone, MTU, and mode. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Inline interfaces, MTU, and mode. Question 5. What is the difference between inline and inline tap on Cisco Firepower? Option A. Inline tap mode can send a copy of the traffic to another device. Option B. Inline tap mode does full packet capture. Option C. Inline mode cannot do SSL decryption. Option D. Inline mode can drop malicious traffic. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Inline mode can drop malicious traffic. Question 6. With Cisco Firepower Threat Defense software. Which interface mode must be configured to passively receive traffic that passes through A? Appliance. Option A. Inline set. Option B. Passive. Option C. Routed. Option D. Inline tap. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, inline tap. Question 7. Which two deployment types support high availability? Choose 2. Option A. Transparent. Option B. Routed. Option C. Clustered. Option D. Intra-chassis multi-instance. Option E. Virtual appliance in public cloud. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, transparent. Option B, routed. Question 8. Which protocol establishes network redundancy in a switched firepower device deployment? Option A. STP. Option B. HSRP. Option C. GLBP. Option D. VRRP. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, STP. Question 9. Which interface type allows packets to be dropped? Option A. Passive. Option B. Inline. Option C. ERSPAN. Option D. Tap. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, inline. Question 10. Which Cisco Firepower Threat Defense? Which two interface settings are required when configuring a routed interface? Choose 2. Option A. Redundant interface. Option B. Ether channel. Option C. Speed. Option D. Media type. Option E. Duplex. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, speed. Option E, duplex. Question 11. Which two dynamic routing protocols are supported in Cisco FTD without using FlexConfig? Choose 2. Option A. EIGRP. Option B. OSPF. Option C. Static routing. Option D. Is. Option E. BGP. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, OSPF. Option E, BGP. Question 12. Which policy rule is included in the deployment of a local DMZ during the initial deployment of a Cisco NGFW through the Cisco FMC? GI. Option A. A default DMZ policy for which only a user can change the IP addresses. Option B. Deny IP any. Option C. No policy rule is included. Option D. Permit IP any. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, no policy rule is included. Question 13. What are two application layer preprocessors? Choose 2. Option A. CIFS. Option B. IMAP. Option C. SSL. Option D. DNP3. Option E. ICMP. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, IMAP. Option C, SSL. Question 14. An engineer is implementing Cisco FTD in the network and is determining which firepower mode to use. The organization needs to have multiple virtual firepower devices working separately inside of the FTD appliance to provide traffic. Segmentation. Which deployment mode should be configured in the Cisco Firepower Management Console to support these requirements? Option A. Multi-instance. Option B. Multiple deployment. Option C. Single deployment. Option D. Single context. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, multi-instance. Question 15. A network engineer is extending a user segment through an FTD device for traffic inspection without creating another IP subnet. How is this accomplished on an FTD device in routed mode? Option A. By assigning an inline set interface. Option B. By using a BVI and creating a BVI IP address in the same subnet as the user segment. Option C. By leveraging the ARP to direct traffic through the firewall. Option D. By bypassing protocol inspection by leveraging pre-filter rules. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. By using a BVI and creating a BVI IP address in the same subnet as the user segment. Question 16. An engineer is configuring a Cisco FTD appliance in IPS-only mode and needs to utilize fail-to-wire interfaces. Which interface mode should be used to meet these requirements? Option A. Passive. Option B. Routed. Option C. Transparent. Option D. Inline set. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Inline set. Question 17. Which two statements about bridge group interfaces in Cisco FTD are true? Choose 2. Option A. The BVI IP address must be in a separate subnet from the connected network. Option B. Bridge groups are supported in both transparent and routed firewall modes. Option C. Bridge groups are supported only in transparent firewall mode. Option D. Bidirectional forwarding detection echo packets are allowed through the FTD when using bridge group members. Option E. Each directly connected network must be on the same subnet. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Bridge groups are supported in both transparent and routed firewall modes. Option E. Each directly connected network must be on the same subnet. Question 18. The event dashboard within the Cisco FMC has been inundated with low-priority intrusion drop events, which are overshadowing high-priority events. An engineer has been tasked with reviewing the policies and reducing the low-priority events. Which action should be configured to accomplish this task? Option A. Drop packet. Option B. Generate events. Option C. Drop connection. Option D. Drop and generate. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Drop packet. Question 19. With Cisco FTD integrated routing and bridging, which interface does the bridge group use to communicate with the routed interface? Option A. Subinterface. Option B. Switch virtual. Option C. Bridge virtual. Option D. Bridge group member. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Bridge virtual. Question 20. An engineer is setting up a new firepower deployment and is looking at the default FMC policies to start the implementation. During the initial trial phase, the organization wants to test some common SNOT rules while still allowing the majority of network traffic to pass. Which default policy should be used? Option A. Balanced security and connectivity. Option B. Security over connectivity. Option C. Maximum detection. Option D. Connectivity over security. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Connectivity over security. Question 21. An engineer is configuring the second Cisco FMC as a standby device but is unable to register with the active unit. What is causing this issue? Option A. The code versions running on the Cisco FMC devices are different. Option B. The licensing purchased does not include high availability. Option C. The primary FMC currently has devices connected to it. Option D. There is only 10 megabits per second of bandwidth between the two devices. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. The code versions running on the Cisco FMC devices are different. Question 22. While configuring FTD, a network engineer wants to ensure that traffic passing though the appliance does not require routing or VLAN. Rewriting. Which interface mode should the engineer implement to accomplish this task? Option A. Inline set. Option B. Passive. Option C. Transparent. Option D. Inline tap. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Inline set. Question 23. A mid-sized company is experiencing higher network bandwidth utilization due to a recent acquisition. The network operations team is asked to scale up their one Cisco FTD appliance deployment to higher capacities due to the increased network bandwidth. Which design option should be used to accomplish this goal? Option A. Deploy multiple Cisco FTD hub pairs in clustering mode to increase performance. Option B. Deploy multiple Cisco FTD appliances in firewall clustering mode to increase performance. Option C. Deploy multiple Cisco FTD appliances using VPN load balancing to scale performance. Option D. Deploy multiple Cisco FTD hub pairs to increase performance. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Deploy multiple Cisco FTD appliances in firewall clustering mode to increase performance. Question 24. In a multi-tenant deployment where multiple domains are in use, which update should be applied outside of the global domain? Option A. Minor upgrade. Option B. Local import of intrusion rules. Option C. Cisco geolocation database. Option D. Local import of major upgrade. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Local import of intrusion rules. Question 25. An organization has a compliancy requirement to protect servers from clients. However, the clients and servers all reside on the same Layer 3 network. Without readdressing IP subnets for clients or servers, how is segmentation achieved? Option A. Change the IP addresses of the servers, while remaining on the same subnet. Option B. Deploy a firewall in routed mode between the clients and servers. Option C. Change the IP addresses of the clients, while remaining on the same subnet. Option D. Deploy a firewall in transparent mode between the clients and servers. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Deploy a firewall in transparent mode between the clients and servers. Question 26. Network traffic coming from an organization's CEO must never be denied. Which access control policy configuration option should be used if the deployment engineer is not permitted to create a rule to allow all traffic? Option A. Change the intrusion policy from security to balance. Option B. Configure a trust policy for the CEO. Option C. Configure firewall bypass. Option D. Create a NAT policy just for the CEO. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Configure a trust policy for the CEO. Question 27. What is a characteristic of bridge groups on a Cisco FTD? Option A. In routed firewall mode, routing between bridge groups is supported. Option B. Routing between bridge groups is achieved only with a router on a stick configuration on a connected router. Option C. In routed firewall mode, routing between bridge groups must pass through a routed interface. Option D. In transparent firewall mode, routing between bridge groups is supported. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. In routed firewall mode, routing between bridge groups is supported. Question 28. A Cisco FTD device is running in transparent firewall mode with a VTEP bridge group member ingress interface. What must be considered by an engineer tasked with specifying the destination MAC address for a packet trace? Option A. The output format option for the packet logs is unavailable. Option B. Only the UDP packet type is supported. Option C. The destination MAC address is optional if a VLAN ID value is entered. Option D. The VLAN ID and destination MAC address are optional. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. The destination MAC address is optional if a VLAN ID value is entered. Question 29. With Cisco FTD software, which interface mode must be configured to passively receive traffic that passes through A appliance? Option A. ERSPAN. Option B. Firewall. Option C. TAP. Option D. IPS only. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C, TAP. Question 30. An engineer is monitoring network traffic from their sales and product development departments, which are on two separate networks. What must be configured in order to maintain data privacy for both departments? Option A. Use passive IDs ports for both departments. Option B. Use a dedicated IPS inline set for each department to maintain traffic separation. Option C. Use 802.1q inline set trunk interfaces with VLANs to maintain logical traffic separation. Option D. Use one pair of inline set in tap mode for both departments. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Use passive IDs ports for both departments. Question 31. A hospital network needs to upgrade their Cisco FMC managed devices and needs to ensure that a disaster recovery process is in place. What must be done in order to minimize downtime on the network? Option A. Configure a second circuit to an ISP for added redundancy. Option B. Keep a copy of the current configuration to use as backup. Option C. Configure the Cisco FMCs for failover. Option D. Configure the Cisco FMC managed devices for clustering. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Configure the Cisco FMC managed devices for clustering. Question 32. An organization has implemented Cisco Firepower without IPS capabilities and now wants to enable inspection for their traffic. They need to be able to detect protocol anomalies and utilize the SNOT rule sets to detect malicious behavior. How is this accomplished? Option A. Modify the network discovery policy to detect new hosts to inspect. Option B. Modify the access control policy to redirect interesting traffic to the engine. Option C. Modify the intrusion policy to determine the minimum severity of an event to inspect. Option D. Modify the network analysis policy to process the packets for inspection. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Modify the access control policy to redirect interesting traffic to the engine. Question 33. An engineer is tasked with deploying an internal perimeter firewall that will support multiple DMZs. Each DMZ has a unique private IP subnet range. How is this requirement satisfied? Option A. Deploy the firewall in transparent mode with access control policies. Option B. Deploy the firewall in routed mode with access control policies. Option C. Deploy the firewall in routed mode with NAT configured. Option D. Deploy the firewall in transparent mode with NAT configured. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Deploy the firewall in routed mode with access control policies. Question 34. An engineer must configure high availability for the Cisco Firepower devices. The current network topology does not allow for two devices to pass traffic concurrently. How must the devices be implemented in this environment? Option A. In active mode. Option B. In a cluster span Ether channel. Option C. In passive mode. Option D. In cluster interface mode. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. In passive mode. Question 35. When deploying a Cisco ASA Firepower module, an organization wants to evaluate the contents of the traffic without affecting the network. It is currently configured to have more than one instance of the same device on the physical appliance. Which deployment mode meets the needs of the organization? Option A. Inline tap monitor only mode. Option B. Passive monitor only mode. Option C. Passive tap monitor only mode. Option D. Inline mode. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Inline tap monitor only mode. Question 36. An organization has a Cisco FTD that uses bridge groups to pass traffic from the inside interfaces to the outside interfaces. They are unable to gather information about neighboring Cisco devices or use multicast in their environment. What must be done to resolve this issue? Option A. Create a firewall rule to allow CDP traffic. Option B. Create a bridge group with the firewall interfaces. Option C. Change the firewall mode to transparent. Option D. Change the firewall mode to routed. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Create a firewall rule to allow CDP traffic. Question 37. A network engineer implements a new Cisco Firepower device on the network to take advantage of its intrusion detection functionality. There is a requirement to analyze the traffic going across the device, alert on any malicious traffic, and appear as a bump in the wire. How should this be implemented? Option A. Specify the BVI IP address as the default gateway for connected devices. Option B. Enable routing on the Cisco Firepower. Option C. Add an IP address to the physical Cisco Firepower interfaces. Option D. Configure a bridge group in transparent mode. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Configure a bridge group in transparent mode. Question 38. Which two conditions must be met to enable high availability between two Cisco FTD devices? Choose 2. Option A. Same flash memory size. Option B. Same NTP configuration. Option C. Same DHCP, PPOE configuration. Option D. Same host name. Option E. Same number of interfaces. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Same NTP configuration. Option E. Same number of interfaces. Question 39. An engineer is building a new access control policy using Cisco FMC. The policy must inspect a unique IPS policy as well as log rule matching. Which action must be taken to meet these requirements? Option A. Configure an IPS policy and enable per rule logging. Option B. Disable the default IPS policy and enable global logging. Option C. Configure an IPS policy and enable global logging. Option D. Disable the default IPS policy and enable per rule logging. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Configure an IPS policy and enable per rule logging. Question 40. Which two OSPF routing features are configured in Cisco FMC and propagated to Cisco FTD? Choose 2. Option A. OSPF v2 with IPv6 capabilities. Option B. Virtual links. Option C. SHA authentication to OSPF packets. Option D. Area boundary router type 1 LSA filtering. Option E. MD5 authentication to OSPF packets. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Virtual links. Option E. MD5 authentication to OSPF packets.